take your valuable time for doing that. My purpose is today is to really give you a little bit of a history of IIG in India, where the developments are, where we are today, what our somewhat plans are for the future, and then more importantly, answer and have an interactive session with you rather than a monologue. Answer any questions you may have. You're in the market, you hear what your audience is, and the public wants to hear, as they say, India jana chahti hai. So, I'm here to try and do that with a little bit more focus towards South India, more than anything else. Again, thank you very much for doing this, and Sanjana, thank you for organizing. Just to give you a rich history, we entered this country close to 1965. We were one of the first international operators to come into this country, the marketing alliance with two of the best known hotels in the country, almost. We opened our first Holiday Inn in 1974 and have been in this country ever since. So we've got a rich history of over 60 years in this country. Today, we are at 46 hotels which are operational in India, and we have almost about 60 hotels in the pipeline. Pipeline being these are hotels where partners have signed up with us. They would build one of our branded hotels, and they're in some stage of construction, from almost completed to early stage of planning and so on as well. And in the last 10 years, we have more than doubled. We've actually doubled our portfolio, 200% growth in the last 10 years, which is phenomenal. And I think the industry is going through an inflection point, and so we are here to ensure that we are capture that growth, because I think we've completely localized. The reasons of our success is, I think, number one is localization. Number two, we rely on market insights and knowledge. Number three, we value our partnerships. So oftentimes you'll see we'll have multiple hotels with the same owner as they build more and more hotels. And lastly, we have a plethora of brands which actually cater to all segments of the population and the industry. So from luxury to lifestyle to your premium to essentials and economic and mid-scale hotels. So we've got a full range. So if you want to build a hotel in India, no matter whether it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 city, whether it's a religious destination, whether it's a leisure destination, we will have a brand which will cater to that. And our brands are very well known in India. The InterContinental, the Holiday Inn. Holiday Inn is actually very well known in the world. It is one of the most recognized hotel brands in the world, right? And no difference in India as well. And then the InterContinental, with its rich legacy in India, the Golden Eye, which is the emblem for the brand, very well recognized in the country. And now we also have ultra luxury properties in the country with the Six Senses, which is another one of our brands. So we've got one in Dehradun and one in outside Jaipur, close to Ranthambore, so in Port Parwa. So with that, I can go on. I'm passionate about this company, passionate about the brand. I can go on for an hour and a half or even more. But rather than that, I'd rather make it interactive and be happy. Sanjana, if you moderate, take their questions, and I'll be happy to answer whatever. And whatever data we have, I'll be happy to share, which I remember I've not carried my laptop, I can look it up. And if we don't have it, then we will get that to you so that you have the facts, more than anything else. Right? With that, over to you, Sanjana. And thank you once again for coming. I know it's always busy, and I know Sanjana tells me there are lots of other conferences going on in the city. So thank you very much for taking all the time and coming here to speak today. Thank you. They're not joint ventures. We are service providers to the hotel owners. Second question said, what is the timeline of this development? Now, we say 3 to 5 years. But keep in mind, Yogesh, that just like I have 60 as of today, approximately 60. It changes every day. Like I signed a contract yesterday, so that may have gone up to 69, 61. And we'll sign it tomorrow, that will probably go up to 62 as an example. And that varies, and as one hotel opens, that comes down, right? So consequently, now so the hotel I signed yesterday is a piece of land today and a rough master planning design. So that hotel will probably take 4 to 5 years to build, right? Versus I've signed hotels which are probably 6 months from opening or 12 months from opening, because the structure is ready, the design has to get confirmed, the MEP, which is all the water plant, the STP, all that is all in place, but may need some tweaks and so on. So they vary in different stages. And I wish we could project, it would be Newton's fourth law, we could project when the hotel is actually going to open, because there are various licenses, various permits, various licenses, all that.
to happen. So it varies a little bit, although that environment is getting significantly better. But so I would like to say in 3 to 5 years, very safely we will double our portfolio.
I asked about investments.
So investments for us is, again, we have a team which is really big in here. So from a capital standpoint, we don't invest in the property, right? It is our investment comes in kind and our resources and so on and so forth, right? So and please keep in mind, when we opened our office in Gurgaon in 2006, we opened our global service center there, which has 700 employees, right? So we are super long on India, right? So the investments are coming in terms of resources, in terms of intellectual capital, in terms of more and more investments from the company going into the company, but capital going into projects to build hotels, that's not the model we follow.
Just one more question, sir.
Sure.
Out of the 60, how many are greenfield and how many are?
I would say predominantly would be, not today greenfield, when they were signed they would be greenfield, because in the 60 there would be properties which were signed 5 years ago, and there are properties which would be signed 1 year ago. So to give you a sense, this year we expect to open between 10 to 15 hotels, right? And to give you a sense of how that pipeline is improving, so in 2023 we signed 13 hotels in the country, right? Last year we signed 18. This year we are on track to sign, between 20 and 25, right? So what happens is in that 60 number, all what we sign gets added, all which we opened gets subtracted, right? So that run rate carries on, but then that 46 number I told you also starts expanding quite rapidly. Where we signed in the right location with the right hotel, right? When you say ultra luxury, this is super luxury. It has to be the right, it offers the right experiences. It's got, our Six Senses is a very sustainable brand, right? So it has to have all those ingredients present to ensure. So we are very picky and choosy about it, but for the right opportunity. Listen, we are here to do business, so for the right opportunity we'll be doing it. But we don't have a target in mind, To me, luxury is never bought, it's never sold, it's always bought, right? So from my standpoint, wherever the customer wants to go, wherever there's a property which will have a draw for people who would like to go and experience those things, we'll be happy to evaluate and look at it.
Sir, I just